What's up? My name is Michael Faze. I'm a music producer and terrible gamer from New York City. I make content based on music and gaming, so if you like any of those two things, make sure to smash that like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on any new content. I stream here every Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, so make sure to check it out. All right, so this is the project file to Count on You. It went through a lot of different versions and a lot of exporting. So this is the final version of the project. I had to cut out most of the entire song just because it was just taking up too much CPU for this video. But I can show you the main part of the actual track itself. So I'm gonna play you the example.
Nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you.
All right, so that was the main part of Count on You. You guys can go stream it now on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever it is. Link is in the description. But basically, how I made this track was through this vocal. I'm gonna show you what it sounds like just by itself.
Nothing really mattered, I could always count on you.
I went through some processing and added some layers to it as well because there's a nice little hum that comes in on a little melody.
When nothing really mattered, I could always count on you.
So I always thought to myself that a call and response would be very beautiful for this kind of track. I have some other bonus layers here that are layered together with that hum. This one's a little bit more subtle and kind of pitched down a bit. And then this one's a bit higher. When you hear them together,
when nothing really mattered,
it sounds really, really big. So that was all the vocals. And with the melody, I had to bust things out, but basically it comprises of a bunch of different layers here. I have a sound lead Neo too, which is from my Nebula serum pack that I put out. Also, link is in the description. Sounds like this. Then this lead of Abrax. And this layered mallet marimba. I love it. It comes from the Seven Skies and Kashmir Sound Bank. For the Abrax lead and the Arc lead, it's also from a Seven Skies pack. Don't remember which one it was. I'll tell you right now. I think it was called Tails. Tails, yeah. And it sounds like this. But altogether, it really makes a really cool sound. When you hear it with all the processing and everything turned on, it sounds like this. very dreamy, very spacey, just like how I like my tracks to be. But I felt like it was kind of empty just with these elements all together.
Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you.
So the next thing I added was these plucks, which were just arpeggiating. Here it is. I added a pan man to this, and also in the actual plugin itself, there's a little phaser and a flanger going on, so it's constantly evolving over time. And then the next thing was a piano, something really simple. Well, these are technically Rhodes or electric pianos. And then some trance pads, which I am a huge fan of. I love those super saw, like floaty, luscious pads. Oh, let me open up the automation for it. So it's always constantly evolving. So when you put these together, it just blends in really well. I'm gonna turn off the vocals so you guys can hear this all together, instrumentation. So the hardest part for me in this track was making the bass line. I had to think very carefully of what kind of bass line I wanted to add in here. So this bass line is just comprised of two different bass tones. It's this one right here. And it's one of the donks that we made in our previous Twitch streams. I think is when we were making a Happy Hardcore track, like in February or January, something like that. So I reused the donk and I put it through Phase Plant and added a bunch of other effects to it to really get it to glide and do some really cool stuff. But that is acting as the percussive layer into the actual main bass, which is this. So you can see without each other, it just feels empty and it doesn't feel complete. So together they really make each other better. The next thing that we put on here was a respace. I always have them in my tracks. This one was a little bit simpler. And it's also layered with the main bass line. So on to the drums, I have this little kick and snare scenario going on. It's just inspired by Eric Prydz, who I'm a huge fan of in terms of music and his production style. So you hear the combination. Lots of reverb, but also it kind of ends at a very good point. Without these overhead percussions, there would be no groove. So just take a listen. And then we got these retro wave fills. Now for these retro wave fills, I pretty much just hit fade stereo, which does that left and right motion. And I chop them up so that I can get different left and right motions together. And I even use the frequency shifter on here just to make it a little bit lighter on the mix. And that's pretty much about it. I didn't really do too much to this sound. A little bit of Cashmere Essentials, G Clip, and an imager to try to make things a little tiny bit more mono. Which is not bad. And then we have this snare roll up. So when you hear it together, it really starts to complement one each other. And then here's the crash, which is just 2 different layers. And then we have this thing over here. I forgot what this is. Metal Impact? Yeah, there we go. So this is just used to fill in the space in there in the mix. So once you hear everything kind of together, you kind of get to hear the gist of things. Let's turn these on so you can hear. I'll leave the vocals off. So this can't be a full-on track without special effects. As y'all know, I love to add a crap load of special effects in my tracks. I'm very cautious with which ones I add in. I always give them a reason. This impact is one of my newer impacts from my upcoming sample pack. News on that very, very soon, but it's one of my favorite impacts on there. Same thing with this impact. So when you add them into the track, it just adds a whole different feel.
When nothing really mattered, I could always count on you.
Then we have this downlifter, which is just some simple noise. And this laser down sweep, which is from my hardstyle sample pack. It's good and simple and always gets the job done. I also have this Mega Riser, which is really intense. You add them together here. Always does wonders. And when you layer it with this and this, you get something really cool. We'll put them together. It becomes one whole riser, which is pretty cool. I like that. And next up, we have a little low feedback. I do this with my house tracks a lot, where it feels like something's coming, and I use that low feedback to really introduce the drop. So here it is. It's a really cool sound. And then we have these atmosphere hits. And these over here. Put them together. Then we got another atmosphere sound. Just laser. And when you put these together with the Mega Riser, you get something pretty dope. It's so intense. I love it. And then we have these vocal atmospheres. and some noises. These are all the minor details you would never catch in the track, but I love to have them in there. It's down sweep. And then we have this one, which is also part of the new pack. It's a really dope sound. It really has like a lot of tension. So I think that's all the special effects in here. Oh wait, no, there's one more here. We have a little build up going on there. And this is how Count on You was pretty much made, at least in this climax and build up scenario. Something really smooth. It's very simple, the concept, and it's nothing I've ever done before. So I hope you guys enjoy this and enjoy the track. If you want me to go into more in depth with the leads and how I process them, I can do that for another video, as it is a little bit complicated and requires that I go back to my previous projects to show you how it was processed beforehand. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching that video. And if you enjoyed this video and found some helpful tip, make sure to smash that like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on any new content. Lastly, make sure to check out the links in the description for new music, the Discord, sample packs, and any merch available. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one.